Ministry of Defense in Kuwait confirms that the country's air defense systems are currently engaging hostile missile and drone attacks. Interceptions are underway across multiple locations, with both ground-based systems and fighter aircrafts responding in real time. Group Captain Devnath, your comments.
Very active. In fact, it is being manned by both US crew as well as by Kuwait national citizen. If we remember, in the beginning of this war, first week of March, Kuwait air defense system by mistake shot down 3 US Air Force F-15 aircraft in a fratricidal attack. But nevertheless, such a thing happens in fog of war. More surprising is Iran's continued offensive on Gulf countries with their drones and missiles. One would, all military strategists in the first week of March, including me, we had predicted that Iran will run short of its missiles by third week of war. But we are already in the fourth week of war, and Iran is still not out of its ammunition stocks. Yes, large number of drones are being launched by Iran towards Gulf countries. Drones have a difficulty. Their speed is less. They normally fly at a speed of 200 km per hour or 400 km per hour. So easy to track, easy to shoot down. Similarly, drones have another limitation that their warheads normally are small. Say an Iranian missile will have a warhead 500 kg explosive, maybe 1000 kg explosive, whereas drones normal warhead are small, 50 kg explosive or 100 kg explosive. But nevertheless, Iranian drones and missiles are causing huge amount of concern in Gulf countries. This is Iran's way of putting pressure on Gulf countries so that they put pressure on Donald Trump to stop the war. Gulf countries are also suffering. Their exports of crude oil has almost diminished to zero. Their earnings have stopped. Tourism has stopped. All their super malls have closed down. So Gulf countries are presently putting direct or indirect pressure on Donald Trump to end this war as soon as possible. Yes.
Right. And Mr. Srivastav, on this development, I'd also like your comments.
Yes, I think, could you repeat your question?
Mr. Srivastav, the Ministry of Defense in Kuwait has confirmed that the country's air defense systems are currently engaging in hostile missile and drone attacks. What would you like to say?
Yes, certainly, Vaishali. I mean, this is very much there, and West Asian countries are taking all their, caution and care at this point of time to defend themselves, and in that regard, their air defense systems are active. But one thing I would certainly appreciate, rather, that the kind of strategic patience the West Asian countries, the Muslim countries have shown is remarkable. Despite getting attacks over attacks, and they had nothing to do with this kind of a war, but still, if they are being targeted, they are and conspiracies are being hatched by the Iranian Islamic regime side to bring them into this kind of a conflict. There is certainly a clarity is that Islamic regime is attacking West Asian countries only to put some pressure on the United States of America. But having said that, the kind of patience these countries are showing, West Asian countries are showing, should always be appreciated, because they have received huge setbacks, whether in Dubai or in Doha, in other places, and they have lost a lot of their civilian infrastructures, hotels, airports are being targeted. Several places, civilian areas, residential areas are being targeted. People are under stress, and the flights are not operating properly. So I think, despite getting all sorts of provocations from the Iranian regime side, if they have still not have decided not to respond to it, which they can anytime. Saudi Arabia, UAE, they have all capabilities and resources. to respond to this kind of a situation. They have big fighter jets, United States of American jet, and their own military capabilities are there. Saudi Arabia has fought a big war in Yemen. So I think so all these countries, they can respond, but if they are not responding, that should also be appreciated. But having said that, I would say that if Iranian Islamic regime wants to come to the negotiating table or wants to see the end of this war, I think they can take their own initiative. Why are they not coming to a negotiating table? They should come to the negotiating table. And they have initial attacks which they have carried out against West Asian countries, they did out of desperation, I would say. But now, since so much has been done in last few weeks, obviously this is time for the Islamic regime also to take their own initiative and give a clear indication that they also want to see the end of war. It is not that only West Asian countries will say and then only United States of America would in. If they take their own initiative and give a clear signals that they want to come to the negotiating table, the ceasefire would happen. But even still relentlessly, if they are targeting Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and UAE and Oman and Qatar, I think that should be stopped immediately. And I think they should also explore ways themselves to come to the negotiating table as early as possible.